Hey everybody, welcome to your Monday message of mental health on location in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. My favorite place on earth, pretty much. So, a couple months ago, we did a Monday message about getting outside. And while I was in that message talking to you about generally getting outside, I mentioned forest bathing, and I thought this would be fun to take you on a little trip of what forest bathing is all about right here in one of the best states for forests. So, take a little walk with me. As you can see, it is really peaceful here and incredibly beautiful. It's past peak, however, that doesn't mean the leaves aren't still amazing, even if they're not as plentiful. So I'm going to turn the camera around and then we'll walk. Let's do it. Okay, that's a better view. So here we are. Most of where this started was a Japanese practice that actually it started in 1982. It's not anciently rooted, although the practice itself is. But in Japan, called Shinrin-yoku, and that translates to forest bathing. But everything that I've learned in detail about forest bathing comes from this book. I've read a bunch of books, but this is my favorite, Amos Clifford. So if you want to really take a deep dive into how to do this, there's no better book. And I highly recommend it. It is very, very detailed and gives you an idea of how to do it and all the benefits from it. Way more than I'm going to tell you right now. But in terms of, we talk a lot about the 9 areas of wellness, and in terms of the 9 areas of wellness, forest bathing is something that really captures all of them. 1, physical wellness. Now, if you do it correctly, you are going to be going very slowly. So for those of you who enjoy fitness at a top speed, with your sweat pumping and your breath labored, then that's not what I mean, because your pace needs to be slow when you go forest bathing. But the idea of it is that you are getting your blood and breath moving and your body moving, and even that is good for physical health and wellness, even slow. Mentally, oh my gosh, it makes you have gratitude, it makes you feel connected, it literally lifts your feelings of depression and anxiety, or reduces them, not lifts them, that's the wrong word. Oh, there she is. Speaking of happiness, look at that happy dogger. That's how it feels for humans too, on the inside. It can make all your problems seem very small. It can just make you feel like you are connected to something more important than whatever's going on in your life that's troubling you. But it also can give you some solutions. I'll talk about that in a second. So spiritually, that connection is just key for spiritual wellness. And you can really get a good awakening is the word I was looking for. Awakening by being in amongst nature and letting your connection with nature, which is our most ancient connection, and most of us have lost that along the way because of our society. We've lost our connection with trees by and large, and so returning to that is going to be returning to a really important source. A lot of people really find a connection to the ultimate source out here, however you define that. So spiritual, that is. Environmentally, obviously, this is all about environmental wellness, the connection with nature, getting outside, letting it have all these other benefits I'm telling you, and making it a priority, I think, really making it be part of your day and slowing down and enjoying it is part of environmental wellness. Occupational wellness gives you a break from whatever your occupation is, yes, but also some of the best ideas come out when you are walking around and not on purpose thinking about anything. And then some amazing things ideas, thoughts will come to you. You can solve a lot of occupational problems, excuse me, just by going out for a walk in nature. I'm doing a little forest bathing. Speaking of that, intellectual wellness, it might seem like you're pausing your intellectual wellness while you're out here, but no, gosh, it's like, I can't describe it really well in words. It's more of a feeling, but your brain just feels alive and on fire. Synapses are popping and ideas are coming to you. And obviously, learning the good art of forest bathing is part of intellectual wellness because you're learning something new. But just learning, when you really do it and you just listen to what you're listening to and hear the connections between all the different elements of nature, it's amazing how it really just feeds that intellectual sense of using your brain in this way, in this different way, which is also true about the creative. So, you know, you might not be actively creating anything while you are on your forest bathing journey, although I recommend you do. You know, you can create a little rock pile, you can create a little leaf pile, you can do things like that, but you're also creating a path. You're deciding where you want to go and where you want to walk and what you want to look at. And, again, it just kind of gets those creative juices flowing in a very, very different way. You don't have any artistic elements, so you're just working with what the world gives you ultimately. Oh, she's out of frame, and I wish you could see my dog right now. She's doing her bunny hop. It's very funny. So that's that. Did I get them all? Spiritual. Oh, social. I left out social. So, yeah. I mean, the forest bathing, if you do it correctly, you're by yourself, but you can do with somebody else, just silently, not talking. And there's a wonderful connection when you're with someone but not talking. You connect socially on a totally different level. It's gorgeous. Look at all those trees. All the leaves are not off yet. I'm a little past peak, but they're still there. So social wellness also is something that is affected if you're with someone. But even if you're alone, there's an odd social connection to the trees. I know you're going to think I've lost my marbles, but it's true. You have to come out and experience it. These trees have been around for a long time. They speak to each other, and you can feel a connection to them that's spiritual but social too. It's interesting. Anyway, so the way to do it is you really want to focus on three things. One is pace, so you want to go slow because you're trying to really enjoy. Slow yourself down. We go at such a fast pace in our lives that just slowing down can be incredibly healing. So slowing down, and you want to not have a camera, a phone, nothing, and make no noise yourself, which is why I'm breaking all the rules right now. Not really doing it. So that you can pick up on all the sounds and pleasures that the forest is going to give you, which incidentally is the key in terms of third thing, which is your senses. So in this book, he talks about 14 of them. Can you believe that? 14 senses. I only know 6 until I read this book. So, yeah, so you want to focus on pace. Oh, I forgot distance. You want to focus on pace. You want to focus on distance. You don't need to go for a long time. Ideally, it's like, 2 to 4 hours, but even a half mile will do. If you're going slowly, then that's great. So you don't have to go long. You just have to be purposeful. So you got distance, pace, and your senses. 14 of them. Read the book. You'll know all 14. But even if you start out just with the 6 it's a really marvelous thing. I can't think of anything else that better, what am I trying to say? I don't even know. I'm lost in the forest now. I can't even say words. That's a good sign. I can't think of anything else that better addresses all of the areas of wellness like this particular activity. It just makes you feel good. You'll feel so good, just in all the ways you can feel good. So find a forest, If you just really experience all 5 senses out here, you will be nourished in a way you're just not nourished outside of the forest. I promise you. So, that's your Monday message of mental health. I'm going to leave you with a couple seconds of just listening to these sounds instead of me. Here you go.